This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Hey there folks, welcome to another one of my ramblings. I just wanted to do a quick vid really on a couple of things that I purchased on Black Friday. There's only 2 games and we'll go straight into them. I might ramble about other things as well, but we'll see how we go. You know what I'm like once I get going. So firstly, I got Until Dawn, which is a PS4 exclusive, and wanted this at launch really, but because there were so many other things coming out at the time, I had to pick and choose what I was getting, and really flew under the radar, this one, for PlayStation. They didn't punt this game at all, and it was like a massive, just an overnight success. Everybody that bought it loved it, and were like, why have you not been telling us about this game, Sony? You know, they were telling us about the one that didn't get huge praise, like The Order and everything, and this one just snuck under the radar, and everyone loves it. So I'm really looking forward to playing it. I got it from GameStop for, I think, £19.87 or something like that, and a couple of pound for delivery, so 20 quid-ish all in all. And yeah, can't wait to play it. It plays a bit like, I think, Heavy Rain / Beyond Two Souls sort of style-y, but it's a horror type game. And I think from what I'm hearing, you play as several characters and you've got to try and make it through the night. It's like an old style horror type game. There's a few, I'm hearing whispers of a Friday the 13th game getting made independently as well, which seems to have a similar type of thing going on with it, where you've got to survive for a certain length of time. But this looks really good, and I watched a few demos of it at, I think it was E3 or somewhere, quite some time before it came out, and everyone was kind of cheering the audience with the guy making his decisions. And so there's a lot of button pressy type gaming in this one, but it does look really, really good. I'm really looking forward to it. These aren't even out of their shiny cellophane wrappery things yet. I can smell the newness. I'm a bit weird. And also, smelling the newness, is the Mad Max game, which I really wanted at launch. This game came out, if not on the exact day, then pretty damn close to Metal Gear Solid and the Phantom Pain. And I had said that I was going to get this, not the Phantom Pain. And as it got closer and closer and closer, I ended up going for the Phantom Pain. Now, I think the Phantom Pain came out a couple of days earlier. I could be wrong, but I think it did. And I think that was part of the reason I changed my mind. But now that I've gone this far, and now that I've played the Phantom Pain, and don't get me wrong, the Phantom Pain's a good game, I just wish I had gone for this first. Because the Phantom Pain, I find it the same. There's not, well, I haven't, to be, okay, let's rewind slightly. I haven't finished the Phantom Pain. I haven't played through the campaign, so I'm not going to be overly critical of it or harsh of it. But from what I've seen, I did do a lot of side ops, a lot of missions, and I do know that there is another area that you go to after the one that I'm in. But at the moment, I'm in Afghanistan, and it is really fun for maybe an hour or so, doing the sneaky mission type stuff and finding different ways into places, and it is really quirky, really fun, brilliant, great game. But I am finding it slightly disappointing. It's not captured me the way that the old Metal Gears did. Certainly I was kind of a fan of that style of the big sort of cutscenes with the gameplay thrown in, and that seems to have just kind of vanished. I mean, I haven't seen any major cutscenes, but other than the opening. But there was some really cool, like the opening itself was really cool. So if there's more of that through the story, then, you know, I may well change my mind. And I'm not saying it's a bad game. I really enjoy playing it. I haven't gone back to it for quite a while, and I suspect I won't play it again for a fair bit. But I will go back to it, and I will play it again. It is really good fun. But I don't think that game brought anything new to the market. I think it was just something that the Metal Gear fans wanted, and they all went off and bought it in their droves, just like I did. And it's open world, but we've got open worlds that are better than that. It's not an interesting open world because it's all sand and rocks. It's like, yeah, I think there's a jungle area afterwards, but it just doesn't lend itself. Not that they've done anything wrong, it just doesn't lend itself to being overly interesting running around a desert all the time. So everything becomes very, very repetitive very, very quickly. And I didn't think that the home base was particularly, I mean, it feels like you're building something big, but I didn't find that you could interact with it to the level that I would have wanted in an open world game. So there was all sorts of little things that kind of bugged me a little bit about it. But there was far more that I liked about it, but there was things that bugged me about it. Anyway, now I'm rambling, as I do in these things. Anyway, looking back, I think I wish I'd gone for the Mad Max game first, because I think it's kind of a bit more up my street. It's an open world element type game as well, but it has a sort of the story of Mad Max behind it. I haven't played it yet, so I could be completely wrong. I may play a bit of it and then say, Metal Gear's better, but I kind of wish that I'd gone for this. I think it's a bit more diverse in its gameplay. I think you've got from what I'm seeing, you've got the battling in the cars, you've got the building of the cars, you've got the creating your own little world where you start with nothing. You pillaged of everything right at the very beginning, and you've got to build up, just like you do in any sort of RPG. You've got to build up all your stuff. So I'm really looking forward to playing this, and it of course goes hand in hand with the movie that came out, which blew everybody. I haven't seen it yet, actually. It's blown everybody away though. The reviews that film got were just insane. And so I'm really chuffed. I got that for £20 from Shop2. And so between the two games, well, it was 21, I think. Between the two games, it's been 40 quid, basically, which is absolutely fantastic. I did see, I'm pretty spoiled. I've got an awful lot of games, of which some I haven't even got around to playing properly yet. I tend to, if I see games at a really good price, I'll buy them and I'll stock them and I'll play them when I'm ready. I was playing, for the very first time ever last night, a bit of Dying Light, which I'll probably do, actually. I might do... I don't know if I'll do the opener for it, because the opener wasn't overly exciting. It was kind of just like a really small tutorial of how to jump on walls, something like that. But it was fun to do-ish, but it wasn't very interesting from a viewer's perspective. But anyway, I might do a begins on it, and if people like it, maybe some sort of let's play. But I'm finding the let's plays I'm doing seem to be dragging on quite a bit, because I'm only getting to do a couple of hours at most recording in an evening. It's the weekends when I get to do lumps of recording and then post them up through the week, so it doesn't leave me a lot of time. But we've got Christmas coming up where I'll be able to do a fair lump of recording, so I'm looking forward to that. And I may not be able to post up quite as many as I normally do through the week, just through my broadband being not overly great, but I will be recording plenty and posting up maybe 3 or so in a week if I can manage it. I might be able to do more, but it's nice to... Well, with it being Christmas, there'll probably be little things going on, but I tend to not do a huge amount at Christmas, and I get a lot of chill time. I don't have work at Christmas, so I'm very lucky that way. So yeah, so there'll be a big lump of stuff. I'm hoping through that period I'll be able to certainly get through the lumps of Divinity and Wasteland that I want to. If the interest waning a little bit on Wasteland, so I'm not sure how much of that I should keep doing. But I'm more than happy to keep doing it. I'm going to play it anyway, so I can turn the camera on while I'm doing it. But it'll be interesting. I have been throwing other things in. I've been throwing in, what have I done? I've done, obviously, the Tomb Raiders. I haven't played any more of that either, so I'm just filming them as I do. So, there's 10 or so views of that each time I put it up. Wasteland, to be fair, is still getting between 10 and 20 odd hits, so not much in the grand scheme of YouTube, but it is for the hits that I'm used to getting on the channel. It's still fairly high. But of course, Divinity's been the far more popular, and it's still I can throw a video up and it'll only get maybe 20, 30 hits, and then a few days later I'll throw another one up and it'll get 70, 80 hits. So it's a bit random, but it's still by far the most popular of the viewed stuff that I'm doing. And I did a couple of Fable 2, which I wanted to try out on the Xbox One. God, that was an absolute joy to go back and play. I actually, from the second episode of that, I actually off camera just ran around the market trying to find some clothes and some dyes and really silly stuff. So I haven't actually done any missions or anything. I've just run around. So I may well do another few episodes of that, because people seem to be interested in seeing it play on the Xbox One. And it's just such a cute, awesome world that. The music, the style, the characters, the story, everything about that game is just lovely. I love all the Fables, and I know there's a lot of people that aren't a massive fan of 3. I don't know. I still don't know why that is. 3, I played them 3, 2, 1 because I didn't even know Fable existed until well after they'd all come out. So I bought 3, and then I got 2 months after that, after playing, because I loved 3 so much, I thought, well, I'll try 2. So actually, weirdly, and I'm a bit weird, I think 3's probably been my favourite. Although when Anniversary came out, I really loved that as well. So I'm kind of hoping that they do the backward compatibility for Xbox One on those two as well, because they do play that Fable 2 does play much smoother on the Xbox One than it is on the Xbox. There's no doubt about it. I mean, running around in that world was really smooth and beautiful. But you still see little sticky bits here and there, but it definitely felt far smoother than when I played it on the 360. So, I mean, it doesn't matter as it happens. I mean, I've said this umpteen times. I've still got my PS3 and my Xbox 360 and my entire back collection of games. So it's not a problem for me to play these games anyway. It's just nice if you can play it on a platform that does play them slightly smoother, that's all. So it is a bit of a treat when you get them. And of course, if you're on the Xbox One, you've still got the ability to then talk to your Xbox One friends or link up with people and see things coming in and out and so on. So it does make sense to play it on that if you can. But my only concern with the backward compatibility is they had a massive catalogue of things that they were going to do backward compatibility wise, and there was a photo at the time of all these games. I distinctly remember seeing I think Alan Wake was definitely in there. I'm sure I saw Dead Space. But when they come to release it, that picture's been completely changed, and half of those things, I mean, there were so many things missing that were there in the first picture that I saw. Alan Wake was one that I'd love to play again. So, and I remember distinctly there being screen tearing and stuff in certain places of Alan Wake. Just the 360 just didn't cope with an awful lot of stuff. But it was still a great game to play, and I'd love to see that play smoother. So, I mean, that I was really looking forward to. I was really disappointed when it didn't show up in the list when they went live. And even the stuff where it's saying coming soon, there only seems to be about 7, oh, not even that, I think there was about 6 games or something on that page. So if there's going to be like 6 games a month or something that they're doing, it's going to take them years to get through the entire back catalogue of games. I mean, it's hundreds of them. So although they're saying it's a fully backward compatible system, it's not really. You know, it's only backward compatible so far as, A, the publishers will let them do a backward compatible version of it, of which I think they've had sticky moments with Activision already, and EA probably will kick up a stink as well, because if any of those people are thinking about doing Uber versions of the game and sticking them on the new consoles, they're not going to want backward compatibility versions. But interestingly, so yeah, anyway, yeah, sorry, I was about to span off into another part of that conversation, but yeah, so I mean that's really the key problem they've got is how and how quickly they can do them. Because if they can't do them quickly enough and they can't get the publishers to say yes to it anyway, then it's not a fully backward compatible system at all. So you can't sell it as that. It's partly compatible. And there's an awful lot of people that still think you can throw your disc in and play it. You can't. You throw your disc in and it downloads a full new version of the game, which is fine. It's free, you know, so it's still bonus points. But it's not by any means like it is playing it on the 360 where you just throw your disc in, because obviously that means you need 10 gig or anything from 10 gig down to store it with as well. So you need to, if you want to have a full backward catalogue of your games, then I would highly recommend either well, you can't replace your hard drive with the Xbox One, but you can plug in a USB hard drive, so I would highly recommend getting one. But that's my plan. My plan is if they keep doing this, I'll buy an external hard drive and I'll put all my 360 stuff onto that and leave the main drive for the other stuff, which I'll play pretty more frequently. But as most of you know, most of my gaming is done on the PS4, so that's really where my space worries are. And I'm still constantly looking at a 2 terabyte hard drive that I can replace, because you can replace the hard drive in the PS4s. And they're about 70 quid still, so I'm kind of hoping they'll drop. So I'm just holding off, because when I'm going to be moving in spring next year, and when I move I'll have really good broadband, so it's not a problem to uninstall these things and reinstall them, because firstly, a game on the PS4 takes about 40 seconds to install. The only concern is the amount of download stuff that comes with it, and that can be anything, as you know, up to 15-20 gig of a download in a new game these days. So if you uninstall it, you've got to reinstall it again. I mean, that's something that I don't understand. On the 360, when you install a game, any updates that came with it, you could uninstall that game and the updates would still stay on your hard drive. That doesn't seem to be the case with Xbox One or the PS4. If you uninstall something, it all goes. Apart from your save data. Your save data is okay. You have to go out of your way to get rid of that. But I can't understand that. It was such a cool feature of the 360 because you could uninstall a game and not think twice about it. And if you wanted to play it again, you just either played it from the disc or you installed it. Probably took about 10 minutes or so to install the game or whatever it was. So it wasn't too bad. But there's a few things with the new consoles that don't seem to be quite as good as they used to be. I don't quite get it. Maybe they'll sort it out later. Or maybe it's just the pure size of the updates and the way that they have to fix these games, because half of them are released and they're broken. By the time we actually get, the disc that we buy in most cases isn't a fully working game. There's so many bugs in them that I mean, there's a whole other vlog I think on that, but it is becoming the norm to have a game incomplete when you get the disc, and then you have to update it. I mean, it'll play, but you'll probably find a million bugs in them. Anyway, I digress. But so I think going forward, I might do a little begins on each of these, just so you can see, anyone who hasn't played them can see them and get a taste for what they might be like, which is kind of what my channel's about as well. I quite like to show off games. I did mention it in a previous vlog, I think, about the Begins collection I used to do. So I think maybe I'll revive that, because I can't possibly do a Let's Play on every single game that I get. They just come a bit too thick and fast. So, I mean, I will do them as time goes on, but I can't do them all at once. But I want to keep the channel interesting, so I'll post up bits and pieces between the Let's Plays that I'm doing. And yeah, so I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to ramble on about today. I shall post up what I can that's fresh and new for you to see, and I'll keep plugging away at Divinity. Thanks for all the feedback again. There's still loads of people chatting to me about Divinity, and I still get loads of positive feedback about the game. And I shall speak to you all soon in another one of these vloggy type things. I might try and do these as a fortnightly thing, or I think weekly might be a bit much. But we'll see. They're a bit random, but I might try and do them a bit more regularly than I have been. They're quite nice to spin things out of my head and throw ideas out there that you can feedback for. It's been an honour and a privilege serving for you in this vlog today, and I shall see you all in a Let's Play or a gameplay or something soon. You take it easy. Bye.